So what is a floating action button? Is it another button in our Flutter? No, it's actually not. It had some quite interesting properties. Like if you know what's a floating action button, just let me show you this button here, which Flutter gives us on the basic project, like the dummy project, when we create the app, is floating action button. What is so unique about it? This button actually floats on the page. I guess you guys know about it. Like you guys saw it on lots of apps also, like a button which like the if the page is also scroll, the button remain relatively stable and it's just float on the content. So this button is known as floating action button in Flutter. So today we'll learn how to implement that. So first let me just delete all the boilerplate code and start implementing this button. So for that let me first create a stateless app. Okay, so a stateless app and name it my app, and in that let me first create a material app. Okay, and in that home I will create a home app. So for that I can use a stateful app. Okay, not that, like the stateful app, let me name it home only, and just call it from here. And here we can use a scaffold, or if before that let me restart that. And yeah, our app is done. To remove this debug banner, so just remove the show debug banner and make the value to false, and yep, that's gone. To bring the white canvas, we generally use scaffold. So scaffold is a white canvas, if you don't know, like where we typically draw our app. Here in the scaffold, like we have the property, famous property of body and app bar. So there is also another property named as floating action button. So this is that property. So there are two relative property with it. One is floating action button and one is floating action button location. Okay, so what is floating action button? As it sounds, so it's give you a button which floats on the screen, and it remain constant on the screen. Okay, so it's just like a typical button. So Flutter gives you a ready-made button there, so named as floating action button. So you can just use that widget, floating action button. It's giving us an error because it, if you hover over it, it will show you that it requires a on press property just like other buttons. So let us use that on press property. So it's done now. So if I refresh the app and hot reload, so you can see that button here appears here. Okay, so we can customize the button. Like I can use a child here, like I can implement an icon, and icons dot like maybe the favorite. Yeah, and you can also change the background color here. So yeah, and a lot of other customization can also be done here. Like I can use here like pink maybe. Yeah, that's done. So here, as the floating action button, there is also an important thing, one important property in the scaffold, that is floating action button location. So what's this thing did? It actually specify the location where the button usually will be. Okay, so for general convention, this is the top part, this is the bottom part. Okay, and left right, I think you guys know. So we can use that floating action button location and dot there. You can see the all the things like center float. So it will be floating here in the center of the screen. Okay, so just if I just hot reload, you can see that this will be center float. Okay, and there are also other things like you can use the end dock. So dock means it will be just here. Okay, it will be docked here. The means the default location. Okay, you can use here also end top, so it will be here on the top end side. Okay, so if I refresh it, so it will be on the end top. So whatever you want, you can do it. So I typically like make it in the center dock, so that it will be in the center. So yeah, this is the floating action button. And now the question will be like bro, are we limited on this shape on this button only? No, actually we are not. Okay, we can create our own button also. So let me just comment it out and just remove this thing like the floating action button. Okay, we can also create a like a container, so to use a floating action button, and we can give it a height maybe a 20 pixel and a width of maybe like what 70 pixels. And we can obviously don't forget, like we need a decoration, and on that box decoration I can give you a color. Sorry, there is a just it won't be there, there will be a box decoration. So we can use a color also, like let me use a color of pink that we used here. And if I hot reload, so yeah, you can see that button. So just let me make it a little bit big, like a 50, and 150 will be good, I think. Yep, it's looking a little bit good. And we can make it a constant decoration, and because so that it can stop peeling at us. And we can also give a border radius, so we can give a border radius, or we can, yeah, border radius dot circular, and we can give it a radius maybe of 20. So yep, yeah, there had to be a comma, there is some problem. Constant cannot be on, so we need to remove the const here. Okay, so yeah, there is a border radius also, like 20. I don't think that will be a little bit bigger. Okay, and you can also add some text, like in that here you can use a text also. And here you can use anything like hi, and or subscribe. Okay, so as you can see that it's typically here because the alignment is not done. So for that we need to set the alignment as alignment dot center. So the alignment of the text became on the center. And we can also do some styling here, like like the style property, we can use text style. And we can use some styling, maybe like the font size, we can make it like 20 pixels, I think. Yeah, that's a little bit bold. Let it make it 18, good. And we can make the color as white, and make it a little bit bold also, like font weight, and we can make it a little bit bold. Okay, and just, yep, it's done here. Like bold is not looking good, so just remove it, and font weight is white. Okay, that's looking good, and I can make it a constant. So yeah, enough for it. Now if you use a container, so there is a thing, like if you use a container, so it by default didn't have that on tap property. To have that on tap property, you can just wrap it out with a gesture detector, and we can use that as a child and paste it here. So in a gesture detector, like you can have that on tap property, you can have that on tap property, and on tap callback function, you can use that. And you can use that on tap property here also. And yeah, let's use there. So yeah, you can build UI with that. So just let me not build the entire UI, just an expanded, and I can just want to fill child here, and with a container, and just a background color, or maybe just remove it. We don't need a body here. Okay, so this is done, and I can just use a background color there, like a little pink accent, like a little bit. And it's too like a little bit grayish color maybe. Yeah, it's kind of looking neat. Or I think we can use a pink accent with a shade of 20. That's looking a little bit good, but that's kind of a creepy. So you can play with the color so as you want. Okay, you can play with it, so whatever color you suits, you like it, and you can play that here. Okay, like a gray 50 color, maybe 50 shade. So yeah, a little bit color there. So this is the thing, this is the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like it, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.